Hello and welcome to the monthly EXL Podcast. March was a massive month in the gaming industry with huge announcements, events, game releases. So like always, we're here to break it all down and talk about the things that matter to us most. Games. Joining me today, I have our senior writer, Mr. Eric Jackson.
Hello everybody, good afternoon.
I also have one of our official streamers and writers, Mr. Ken Masters.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing?
Returning from hiatus, we have Mr. Anthony Askew.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
How did I feel like you were going to say that? And as always, my partner in crime at Drop Dead Interactive, Mr. Jay Adaloy.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Hope you're having a good evening.
It's always an absolute pleasure to have you with us. So, that Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yes.
Yeah, a few leaked details this month. Who would like to start off on that one? Because I know a lot of you have some very strong feelings about this.
All right, I'll start. From the footage we saw, I'm very excited when I saw, especially the jetpack part. It looked very Mass Effect 1-esque. I mean, it was very open. If you looked in the background, it looked like a kind of desolate world, or at least the area we saw. So, I hope that sense of exploration is back from Mass Effect 1, and hopefully it's a return to form. I mean, granted, I loved all three games. I'm not one of those that are like, oh, Mass Effect 3 sucked or whatever. No, I loved all three, but Mass Effect 1 did have a lot of, like, the sense of exploration was very high in that game. So.
Was that also because that was like the first time where we had a game where you kind of like third-person shooter where you can go and like explore planets, and it wasn't the most diverse in terms of like what was in those planets, because a lot of those planets just had like one enemy base where you just capture and destroy. But still, just like landing on that planet with the Mako and like just searching for stuff for the first time, like last generation, just felt like wow, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know people like the Monday morning quarterback, the first Mass Effect, and say, well, the Mako missions were like boring and just going around and collecting stuff at random. But nah, come on, when that first dropped, that was like what?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love the Mako missions. I hated driving the Mako, but I love the missions. Just exploring planets was like the coolest thing
Same
ever.
here.
Yeah,
I had no issue with mining. Yeah, I had no issue with mining planets and like going down and exploring and checking it out. I thought it was awesome. So I'm hoping that they kind of get back to a little bit more of that, like a little more exploration, dropping down on the planet. Not so much on just the combat aspect of it, but what made Mass Effect with the first one.
Yeah, we shall see. I mean, there's been BioWare has been hit with layoffs, or not layoffs, but certain key people have left.
Lots.
So,
yeah, like really key people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I am worried. I am concerned because go ahead.
I know, saying they left and were scooped up by like Activision. So I'm guessing Destiny should be on point. Destiny 2.
Oh, Destiny just got it made. They've just got the best of BioWare and Bungie all mixed into one.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Ken. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no. Yeah. The reason why I'm kind of concerned is because of I played Dragon Age Inquisition, and I mean mechanically it was a good game. It was sound, but that it almost seemed like they were mocking people that wanted more content in games. Everybody
It had a lot of padding, didn't it?
A lot, like a ridiculous amount of padding. It was just like seriously. So I'm a bit worried about Mass Effect Andromeda at the end of the day, but I have to hope for the best and
I mean, like
see what happens.
on a realistic scale, like how many original alien life forms and planets can we really get out of a single game? Like we're not gonna get like, you know what I mean? Like there's only so many like dinosaur-looking aliens, No Man's Sky, I'm looking at you, type things you can put in like in a planet. Like, eventually they're gonna be like, man, this purple dinosaur looks a lot like this purple dinosaur in this planet, which happens to be a galaxy away. This is very weird. Like, you only get so much of them.
Well, that's true. I mean, there's only so much you could put in the game. However, you can still make the little that you have to work with, stand out a lot. Like side missions and such like that. You don't need 20 different species to really hit it out of the park with that. Dragon Age Inquisition, it was just so like by the numbers. It was, yeah, I don't know. Like compare Dragon Age Inquisition to, let's say, Witcher 3. And you kind of see what
you can't compare the two. Yeah, the story of Witcher 3 is so amazing, and not just like it's unfair to compare stories because you can tell that the project, Red, they just went just nuts. Yes, you're right. They went nuts with their story, and they hired a lot of really talented people to mold it. But I mean, like even just the pacing of the game and the way it carried itself was just much more structured compared to. Because my big thing with open world games is I get really into the intro, and then halfway through, just explore, I forget about the story because I'm so busy doing meaningless side missions that I just lose interest in the story. And I feel that a lot of the games nowadays, especially Inquisition, that's a good example of that. I just kind of lose interest after a while.
Yep. At this point, I have to say to BioWare, no excuses. At this point, if Witcher 3 could do it, if those guys can do it, EA and BioWare, you guys have a lot more money on deck. There shouldn't be any reason why they don't get it done. I don't want to see that meaningless padding. That was an Inquisition. It's just.
To be fair though, CD Projekt Red, like they're their own bosses. Like they don't have like an EA breathing over their shoulders, being like, "I need this out by Christmas."
That's true. That's true, but.
Yeah, it does make a big difference. Did everybody see the leaked details that came out about the survey that they were asking about Andromeda? So I think the first thing the survey asked was how do people feel about purchasing the upcoming game that takes place in the Andromeda galaxy, and like just basically leaving Earth yet again, having to go and find another universe to carve out your own little piece of area in. And did anybody see the survey, and does anybody not want to know what's in it before I go further, because potential spoilers?
I mean, they should at this point like they should already know the answers to those questions, right? Like they're just throwing them out there, and the way they like detail those questions too is just mouth-watering to gamers. Of course the answer is going to be yes. We want all of this stuff. Who in the right mind is going to be like, no, I don't like exploration. I buy these games to shoot things. I just want to press right trigger a lot and level my character up.
Make
it's
it
ridiculous.
On as
of course.
make it as on rails as you possibly can. I don't like choices.
Take all the customization control away from me. I don't like choices. I don't like surprises. And can you please just do a thing where the ending is left very open and non-descriptive? And I don't want any of my choices that I made in any previous installation to matter, count into effect. Right. If you could do that, BioWare, you will have my business loyalty for life.
All right.
Oh man.
Who's making these surveys?
And see, this is why we missed having Anthony here.
I think it's the same team that did the Sega company survey. Like, what would you like us to do? It's like, Jesus Christ, man, you guys are the game makers.
Or the survey from Capcom. Would you guys like another Mega Man game? Like, are you serious? Like, that was a slap in the face. Come on. Capcom is just trolling at this point, but I don't want to change something.
Yeah, they do have to troll on us. That is a total troll move by Capcom. They're not like Nintendo, where they're completely out of touch with their audience. Like Capcom knows what the fuck's going on. They don't have money to do anything.
Yeah, they're asking us that, but then they're like, okay, here's all the Resident Evils all over again. Like, wait a minute, what?
Well, speaking of Resident Evil, Anthony, how many times you bought that now?
I have purchased Resident Evil 4 for every possible console that has ever been released on.
Wow.
I've had it for the GameCube. I've had it for PlayStation. I've had it for friggin' PC. I rebought the thing for the 360. Like, I'm going to rebuy it again for the Xbox One. Like, they just keep releasing these, and I'm totally okay with that. Milk that cow. Whatever. I don't care. I'm a Resident Evil guy. I'll buy into it. I'm guilty. I want better, of course.
You'd buy a bloody version of it for his watch if you could.
Now, Anthony, I'm with you on number 4, but you feel the same about 5 and 6? Especially
Here's
6.
the thing. 6, no. 6 was very disappointing. 5, I loved. I get that a lot of people hated it because of the action thing, but it had so much replay value, like genuine replay value. that I would get 5 again. Just I played it a lot during the 360. 6 not so much because I think they missed a lot of the mark on that, especially the characters.
Right. Well, no, I'm there with you on that because when they announced 4, 5, and 6 remakes, I was like, well, 4 I'm definitely going to do, and I pretty much purchased it on every on every console I've had because it's just that good a game. It is. It's just that good of a game, but yeah. But it is kind of one of those things where I'm like, they're sitting on so many other IP. It's like, come on. So.
Well, the thing with, first about Resident Evil 5, I'll be getting like day 0. That's my favorite Resident Evil. Besides 2. 2 is like number 1, but my most favorite recent Resident Evil is 5. 4 I never finished, unfortunately. So I gotta.
You never finished 4?
Never finished 4. Never finished.
Wow.
4.
How far did you get in 4?
Not far at all. Like I bought it. Let's see. I bought it for. I think I have it for. Did I have it for PS? Like I don't even remember. Like I got past the first. I made it to the where you find the store guy for the first time. That weird.
What you selling?
Yeah, him. I made it to him for the first time, but I never like. I don't know. My attention span wasn't there at the time.
Really?
I don't know how you stop playing that game after that. Like once you start, it's like impossible to stop.
I just never got around to it. But 5, I played through like 3 or 4 times. But as far as
5 just had everything going for it in terms of
Andromeda, and now all of a sudden we're talking Resident Evil.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. Keep going.
But the power of that RE, man.
Yeah, but Capcom, they have the money to do things. There's just a lot of internal strife going on in that company. Like, between Capcom and the original creator of Mega Man, like, something went down with them. And they troll the fan base. They troll him. They do weird things out of spite. It's ridiculous what they did. Like, fans asked for Mega Man in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. He won a poll. They asked, who did you want in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 next? Mega Man won. You know what they did? They put a skin on Zero, a Mega Man skin on Zero, and that pissed everybody off. So.
Do they still have weren't they going broke or bankrupt at one point? Like, did they have money problems a little while ago? They did, right?
They released the Street Fighter 5.
I'm not sure. I think that's why they're just doing HD remakes, because that's the only way that they can, cheaply, compared to making a new IP, put something out there and getting a profit off of it. I mean, what's the other? They have Street Fighter, which is a very bare bones Street Fighter game with like no story or anything, basically no cutscenes, and very skim in terms of like the options. And then they have like a online Resident Evil game that's coming up fairly soon. Which is Raccoon City, basically.
Let's be real though. How hard is it to make a Mega Man game? Something went down. Like it's on the net. There's a lot of information on it. Like there's just they do it out of spite. Like they rather not make money than to make a Mega Man game. It's insane. So.
Well, except for the collection, because they know they'll get the money off that collection.
Sure.
That Mega Man HD remake.
Yeah, but you're right. It's sort of like, it's definitely trolling when they don't want to release a new one.
Yeah. So. While we're on the subject matter of Capcom, Street Fighter has finally got lobbies. So you don't have to, like, if you want to like play with 2 or 3 people, you don't have to swap between one person sitting there, not able to watch anything, waiting for you guys to finish your fight. Then you start a new lobby, invite the new person, then you have that fight. We don't have to do that anymore. All of us can get into the one room. We can spectate. We can rotate. It's amazing balls. Ken.
Yes.
How hard were you nerding out over that DLC or that update to the game?
The update was it was needed so bad. First of all, challenge mode should have been there day 1. Why it wasn't there at launch? I think that's inexcusable. But you know what? The update is out. The lobbies makes the game not a pain in the ass to play with friends anymore. It's at this point, it's 2016. Stuff like that is fairly basic, and so I mean, there's really not much to say as far as like, oh, the lobbies are amazing. I mean, it's lobbies. It should have been there day one, but it wasn't, and it's here now, so people can stop complaining about this and that, and I don't know.
I think I think the complaints can stop, but I mean, I don't think Capcom should get any praise for adding this. That should have been in the game day one. This is ridiculous.
Like arcade mode.
Yeah, like how is this like an exciting update? Hey guys, you know what thing that every other fighting game has? Well, we're finally adding it. It's like it's like you ever see those like restaurants that like will just add something new to their menu, but like every other restaurant has had that thing for like a billion years. Like, hey guys, we have hash browns for breakfast. Like, you know what I mean? It's like this big thing. I'm just like, that's fantastic. Yeah. Every other restaurant has had that since the dawn of restaurants, but hey, I'm glad you guys added that in your latest update content. Like, this is ridiculous.
It's all gonna come in the hyper ultra arcade, whatever version.
They said they were not doing that.
Championship edition.
They said they were not going to have Super Street Fighter 5s or anything like that. That's what they said.
No, they say Capcom.
They say a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Just give us more color palettes, Capcom. Just give us more color palettes.
So I mean, the most
I want
downloaded,
canon turquoise.
The most downloaded skin must be that new outfit for Laura. My goodness.
Oh, Laura's. Oh. Yo,
like,
Capcom is
trolling. The other day, I was like, oh my! Like, this game needs a higher rating.
They're trolling with that. You know why? Because when people were complaining about the Armika's butt slap and Cammy's intro, they changed the camera angle. So if you look at the original intro for Cammy, it is nowhere near what Laura is now. Like, Laura's like they
just want to capitalize on those Dead or Alive fans out there somewhere.
Yeah,
trying to steal the Dead or Alive market base.
They're being subliminal with it because people were complaining about Cammy's intro and Armika's butt slap, which I didn't think was that bad. So Capcom's like, hey, now we got Laura like this. Notice how nobody's really complaining. Like, nobody's really saying anything about it. So I see what Capcom is doing. They're slick. But
are they being subliminal about it, or are they just being Japanese about it?
Oh, they're being Japanese.
This just seems like a Japanese thing to do.
Yeah, they're just being Japanese about it. And that's not a criticism. It's just like a lot of Japanese developers, as we know, take that route, and yeah, they're definitely doing that. They're embracing it. Oh my God, are they embracing it?
But they've always been like that.
American developers would get in so much trouble for that.
Yeah, but like that.
Look at Overwatch.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm saying, look at Overwatch. Like what happened with that this week.
That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. That wasn't even suggestive in any way. It was just it was, come on.
But we accept that from Japan developers. We damn near expect it. We're the jiggly physics. You know what I'm talking about. Like, this is typical Japanese.
It's
nobody even gets offended or blinks an eye at it. We just accepted that that's
beach volleyball game for DOA, and it was like straight up they didn't care. You know.
No, but
I mean, that's what people love about a lot of the Japanese games, isn't it? Is that they don't seem to tie themselves down to the social conformities when it comes to things like that. They do push the bar a little bit further, and because of that, they have a very unique fan base that's very loyal to those type of games because of that.
Right.
Like, if people think Street Fighter is bad, y'all got to see some of those the Vita games. Like, there's stuff out there that if it was like mainstream, it would, like, people would die.
Wasn't there a dating simulator for the Vita?
Well, there's a few.
It's like an RPG, but the main story is like you had to mate with like I think it was like classmates or whatever to form like kids that you would use to like later on or something. I
forgot the name. It's also on PS3.
But it's such a crazy premise though. Like that's number one, like if you're buying video games and you're just like, you know, you go to like eBay and you pick that game up, like do you have like any shame whatsoever picking up this game? Like it's ridiculous. Like this is the game we're gonna play. Like, you know what I mean?
No, that's actually nothing. I forgot the name of the game. When I find the video, I'll show it to you guys, and you're gonna not believe that this is a video game.
Is that the one that just came out last week?
No, this came out about a year ago.
About a year ago, okay. What was the one that came out last week? That's sort of like...
For which console?
It's all PS4. Oh, I can't think of the name of it now.
Oh, Azure Knights, but that's not really that bad though. That's not.
Wait, was it Azure Knights? I have to look it up. I'm sorry. No, it was another one that's kind of like out there as far as like sexual undertone and stuff like that.
Yeah, put it this way. There's a game for the Vita where, if you look at the trailer, the first scene is some this girl, like, let's just say she's eating a corn dog, and I will just leave it like that.
I remember you saying to me, I was complaining about Micah's outfit in Street Fighter, and you're like, oh, you think that's bad? You've got to check this out, blah, blah. I'm like, don't link me. You're like, no, look at it. I'm like, don't link me.
Yeah,
I mean, that doesn't sound too bad. Girls eat corn dogs. They're delicious food. I love corn dogs. I eat them all the time.
I was.
Who are we to blame Japan for having to, film one person eating a corn? Like, that's the only wrong time to film this person eating a corn dog. Like, well, there's that character out there working out. Now I'll save the shot for later. Hey, she's eating a corn dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Everyone loves corn dogs. You can't blame Japan for taking advantage of the delicious corn dog.
Right.
I understand. It's just a different culture over there, and it's. I don't know. I don't think some of that stuff is that bad. So, or the stuff people complaining about, at least.
No, you know what? The game I was talking about, I think it's Senran Kagura.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. It's got it all.
Yeah, it is.
Everything we're talking about, it's got it all.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take a little look and educate myself on that one. Whilst we're talking about things from the Orient, Street Fighter. Did it get another update? Did we get another short update just before? Have they fixed some of those bugs that we had?
What, in Street Fighter?
Some of the connection. Did we just have another update? I think we might have had another one this morning. So hopefully that's going to fix some of the issues that people were having joining the lobbies.
Well, the lobbies were when the 8-man lobbies came out, they were acting up for a couple of hours, but they were fixed relatively quickly.
Yeah, look, I've got to give them that for a change. I mean, when the game first came out, you all you could do was go into the training room. It was so broken, it wasn't even funny. And I was almost expecting the same thing to happen when they did that major update. And so when I was talking to you, you just installed it, and you're like, damn, I can't get online. I was like, oh, Capcom, please don't make this another week-long affair. But it lasted an hour, and it was fixed.
Yeah, it was par for the course.
Yeah, which is good. It really had to happen, so I'm glad to see Capcom didn't drop the ball on that, because I don't know how well the game would have been able to survive in sales if they did. So, all right, moving on to our next topic, Final Fantasy 15.
Yes.
Yay! Alright, who has seen the unveiling? Who watched that uncovered show?
I did.
Ooh, it seems like you're the only one.
Oh, I'm disappointed.
I caught a bit of it, but not the whole thing.
Yeah, and I'm not the biggest Final Fantasy person.
I wasn't. But recently I've started to be. Obviously I haven't had a PlayStation for a very long time, and that's something that typically you would play on the PlayStation. So for me,
or Nintendo if you're an original fan.
Oh yeah, then
they're seething old school Final Fantasy fans like, we know it from Nintendo.
Right.
Just clinging on to their their hopes and dreams of when Nintendo had Final Fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. But I started playing the beta for Episode Disgaea a while back, and gosh, it's just so beautiful, and the battle system is really, really well done. And when I was watching all of these big unveilings come out the other day, I realized this is going to be a thing for me. Like, I can see myself getting lost for many, many, many hundreds of hours in number 15. It looks amazing. The storyline sounds fantastic. Oh, and that cover of Stand By Me, that actually gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, Final Fantasy. Hopefully this is a return to form. It seems to have taken a break over the past 10 years because of that trash Final Fantasy 13. But I'm not going to get into that. Square Enix always, well, I mean, not say Square Enix, Final Fantasy, like that franchise, they always used to push the envelope as far as like production values, especially from like Final Fantasy 6 on, I would say. And this looks like a return to form. They're not going to just sit on their hands and, you know, try to be complacent with the franchise. And if you watch the beginning of the show, he kind of takes a shot at Final Fantasy 13, you know, as far as like trying to make, you know, as far as Final Fantasy always evolving, you know. Because Final Fantasy is the cream of the crop when it comes to these Japanese games, or it used to be, you know, it was like how, I guess in the West we view Call of Duty as like the biggest game. Like Final Fantasy was that, and it fell from grace, you know, due to stumblings that Square Enix has done. But I'm very optimistic.
It's no Chrono Trigger.
Oh.
That's the franchise I chose a while back. I had a choice between doing five, because I'm the type of guy that picks one franchise and just sticks with it. I don't like to do both if I make my allegiance. I chose Chrono Trigger. I have no regrets. Introduced me to New Game Plus, which is a feature I adore now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Your things carry over?
Yeah, that's a strong one.
Well, we'll see if this surpasses Final Fantasy VII. So, they say they wanted to, but that's a very high bar.
It's got the Batmobile, right?
No, that's not the Batmobile.
That's the freaking Batmobile.
Oh, come on.
It is a Batmobile.
Final Fantasy with the Batmobile, and not the new one. We're talking like the 1989, 1981 Tim Burton one with Michael Keaton.
Hey, but
it's
you know what? They confirmed that it can fly. I mean, basically, people wanted airships. They promised us airships back in 2006. We got left in the dark on that for 10 years. And they, at the end of the video, they showed the car like taking off, and I was just like, "Oh my lord!"
Actually, Ken, what was your reaction?
What, to the whole thing?
Your actual reaction, like, yeah. What emotion do you end up going through watching that?
Oh, I started screaming. Like, I was typing in caps, like, "Oh my god!" Like, I don't want to scream that loud, but
Were there tears?
No. I only cried when Final Fantasy VII Remake got unveiled. Like, I started crying then. But Final Fantasy 15, it was more like, it's about damn time. And, you know, it was, I was just like, I'm happy. September 30th, we finally have a release date. And Square, I'm willing to forgive and forget. Well, not forget, but I'm willing to forgive if you nail this game, you know. But
typical Japanese. They invent a flying car and people in the West lose their minds.
You know how long it's been since we had an airship in a traditional Final Fantasy game, like a real airship we could fly around in. It's been It's been over a decade. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. The animation is beautiful in the game. It looks beautiful, you know. My only problem with the game so far, like from what I've seen from episode Duske and the Platinum demo, the frame rate is a little, you know, it's not stable, but obviously they have time to work on that. So, but other than that, you know, I love the combat, I love the music, you know, everything else is A+ in my book.
Yeah, I have the demo downloaded. So I definitely want to give it a shot. Like I said, I haven't been the biggest fan of Final Fantasy person, like, over a lot of my gaming career. But you kind of evolve. You start to evolve, you know, and pick up on different things that you may not have played, you know, at one point in gaming. So like recently, yeah, I picked up Final Fantasy VII because I never played that one back in the day. And I said, well, maybe I'm missing out on something, so I'm gonna give it a shot because like Chrono Trigger I came to late, But Anthony's absolutely right. Game is dope, and games like Fire Emblem, those are games I would have probably never touched like back in the day, but now found to be some of the best games I've played like in recent years.
Chrono Trigger is still it still holds the test of time.
Yeah.
Like I had it for I think the Vita, which I think was a ported version for one of the consoles. I can't remember which one, but I had it for the Vita. The 3DS, obviously had it back in the day. Like if you still play that game, like everything about it still flows.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people who who are really about Chrono Trigger will all say. So yeah, I picked up the 3DS version. That's the one that I grabbed. And I know a lot of fans they would like to have another one.
I haven't played Fire Emblem yet.
Oh, it's amazing. Like the
Fire
Fire Emblem
Emblem's
series,
awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ken, have you got Fire Emblem?
I had a 3DS and I had Fire Emblem. I believe it was Fates.
Awakening? Oh, Fates. Okay.
No. What was not the most recent one, but the one before that? That's the one I had.
Yeah, that was
That was Awakening, right? Or
that was Awakening.
Yeah.
Awakening. Yeah, I had it, but you guys are gonna laugh at me on why I got rid of the Vita. Like the resolution was just so low, like it was hurting my eyes as I was playing the game. It could be that I did get the 3D XL, so the screen was bigger than the normal 3DS, and maybe that was my mistake getting the big version. I should have got the small version because the resolution, it looked like it was just like hurting my eyes. It was just too low, so I was just like, I can't play this thing, so I got rid of it. But
there's nothing wrong with admitting that, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm playing through Birthright like right now, and yeah, definitely something I wouldn't have probably played back in the day, but now I can't get enough.
All right. Well, while you're on that subject, what else are you playing this week?
This week, still rocking on the Division when I can, but I'm really trying to knock out Arkham Knight. It's like one of those things where I've been chipping away at it, so now I'm close to the end game of it, and you know how that goes. Like you start to dive in deeper. You're like, I'm almost done, so I might as well keep going.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I've been playing that. Still gonna jump back into some Sunset Overdrive, especially when they announced it, as a game for April.
Yeah.
Like I haven't finished it yet, but that game's awesome. I love that game. So
yeah, I've actually got it physically.
What's that?
Yeah,
Anthony?
I didn't finish it.
I don't know what it is about that game. Like every time I pop it, because I pop it back on every once in a while, just for maybe 20 minutes or 15 minutes, and it's so smooth. It's so vibrant looking, like the colors and everything. The gameplay, it flows very well. The frame rate's excellent. It's a really solid game, but I have no desire to actually finish it. It's very weird. Like I have no, you know what I mean? Like it runs very smooth. It looks very pretty. It's got everything that I like about games, but for whatever reason, that game just does not click with me in terms of having to finish the story.
Yeah, the storyline doesn't compel you to want to know what happens next. It's not that it's not a good story. I think that it is a good story, but it's more about blowing things up and shooting. And having these massive, big explosions of orange across your screen.
Yeah, but friggin' Frogger had a terrible storyline, but I still finished that game when I played it. You know what I mean? It is. I don't know what it is about Sunset Overdrive.
I don't know. I think for me, it's it's probably the closest thing I'm gonna get to another Jet Grind Radio. And just looking at it, I don't know. I like the vibrancy of it. It just seems it's so different from all the things that we usually play. So yeah, the story isn't the best, but I don't really think you play that game for the story.
Exactly, you play it for the sheer beauty of it and the mindless fun. You don't have to think. You can just sit there and laugh
that's exactly
and
it.
smile.
Exactly. Some games are good for that. You just want to zone out. There are games I'm still playing. I'm gonna be playing The Witcher until my daughter goes to college. Witcher 3.
Oh, yeah.
Now, for anybody who doesn't know, she's about 3 foot high.
So that's just one of those games that I know if I'm going to play that, I need to block away the time to play it because I'm not just going to zone out to it. I need to be focused in on what I'm doing. Same thing with a game like Bloodborne. I got to be focused in on what I'm doing. So, but a game like Sunset, I can just pick up and kind of, mess around with for an hour or two and.
Yep.
And lose myself in it for that moment and kind of go, okay, it's not taxing me.
Yeah, exactly. So Jay, what have you been playing this week?
I have been playing the Division, doing my dailies and stuff like that. I'm still trying to figure out the whole systems for becoming like strong and able to do the challenge modes because
Yeah.
every time I do them I just seem to die.
Yeah.
So
Do you have it just on Xbox or on PlayStation as well?
I only play it on the Xbox. I'm not really into buying two sets of games. I don't know. I just find that on the PlayStation 4, especially, I just don't have as many friends. So I just don't have a reason to play on both systems and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, even when you was talking about the Street Fighter, I was gonna jump in, but just because I want to buy it, but it just seems like there's not that many characters. It just doesn't seem as much to do as there used to be. So to me, this doesn't feel like something I need to buy right now. I just want to get it on discount and stuff like that. So other than that, I did play that Final Fantasy demo. I didn't like it, and I'm like a massive Final Fantasy fan.
You didn't like the demo.
Say again.
You did not like the demo. What didn't appeal to you with the demo?
The Platinum demo, I did not. The thing is, I'm a big fan of turn-based RPGs.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, this is completely different from that. Yeah.
Deep from that, it was like they changed it a bit, and it was like, oh man, really? They changed it a bit more, and then I just did not like this demo at all. I didn't think it looked nice. I felt that like all the demos I think I've been seeing at E3 and stuff like that. For the actual demo that I got, just felt rough in my opinion, and I just did not like the combat of it, and I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was some little boy, and then I was in some giant room, and I just thought, what the hell is going on? And I just could not get into it at all.
If you made it through that,
the remake of Final Fantasy VII, because at least I know I love that story. It was one of the defining moments in my gaming history. Playing Final Fantasy VII, and I got a lot of fun memories of that game. So I'm hoping this remake really lives up to that, and doesn't sort of tarnish those memories I've got of that game. Yeah, this whole 15 thing, I don't know, every time I see the combat, it just makes me feel sick, if I'm honest. I really do not like it. But I mean, I saw something today, and someone mentioned, I think it was a picture of Phil Spencer, and I can't remember the guy's name, or I can't pronounce it, but he was the creator of Lost Odyssey. And someone made a joke of, maybe he's, they're discussing Lost Odyssey 2, and I was like, yeah, that would actually be amazing if they were doing that. So, if they can make something like similar to that, that would be amazing as well. But in terms of other games I'm playing, what else have I been playing? I tried the Doom beta. I'm not sure if that's not, but I didn't like it.
Did you find it too slow?
Say again.
Did you find it too slow?
When I launched it, I was like, yeah, man, I used to have so much fun with this game. It was one of the games that I sort of had as when I used to play keyboard and mouse. I remember, going back to my dad's house, and it was like, that was one of the reasons why I went around there, because I just wanted to play the games like Doom and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this new one I just put it on, and I was just like, what the hell is this? And I just turned off after like 5-10 minutes.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know if it's that you have the memory of the game, and then these new versions of the game just, because they're obviously so different, it's putting me off. I don't know what it is, but lately some of the games are just not doing it for me, if I'm honest. But with Division, I don't know. The Division just got everything right. Like, I just can't stop playing it.
I know, right? It's so addictive. It's amazing. Like I think now across.
Even though things are confusing me on it in terms of leveling up my character and stuff like that, but I just cannot stop playing it and doing the dailies and just getting to the dark zone and just looting all this virtual stuff. And yeah, I just wish these other games just grabbed me just the way that this game is grabbing me. But
I played so much Division in 1 week that I actually had a dream one night that I was in the dark zone and I found like 2 gold items at once. It was,
when it's seeping into your dreams.
Yeah, it gets in there, it gets in your psyche and into your subconscious, and that drive to get those golds, like it's insane. And when you finally get one, you're in the middle of DZ5 and you've got a gold, and it's probably only just like a mod. It's not even a gun. It's not like it's the Midas or anything important. It's just it's a mod. But your life depends on you getting out of there with that in your hand. You cannot let that go. But we've had some seriously sad encounters in the DZ where one of us have had, actually both of us have had like full packs, and one has had at least 1 gold in them. And we've been at the DZ and everything's fine. We look around, Ken sends out the pulse, no threats found. Oh, this is going well. And then all of a sudden, there's 5 people on a level 5 manhunt right on top of us. And like World War III breaks out and everybody loses their stuff and we're dead. And it's, oh my God. They've done an amazing job with how the DZ works. There's a lot of elements that I hate about it. But it's the things that I hate about it that make it work so well.
I think those level 5 guys switched servers when they jumped us.
It's just like...
What did you guys think of the supply drop announcement?
Incursion?
Yeah, but the actual supply drop, that they said they're going to be doing supply drops.
Yeah, I mean, I like the concept. I'm going to wait and see how it actually works in the game. I'll try it out and see how well it gels with the game, but I think it's going to work well, and I'm looking forward to trying it out.
When they were announcing it, I was like, oh man, this is going to be crazy. Like, they're going to be...
there's going to be a lot more rogues. Basically...
This is the thing, though, because they said that when you get the supply drop, you automatically get the loot to your inventory and stuff like that. Which I thought that it would be better if you have to extract that, because that would mean that people would have a better reason for why they need to go rogue.
But they're still going to be fighting when the supply drop actually drops. You still have to fight for it.
As soon as you pick it up and kill all the enemies or whatever, then it's over. It would be crazy if you had to get it and you had to extract it. Like, you would have to tread so carefully. Yeah. I just think it would heighten that whole experience so much more, and I'm hoping that they put a mode in where you could actually.
It would be even more chaos than it is now. Like, basically, that last patch that they did with the where they lessened the punishment for dying as rogue and dying in general. There's rogues everywhere now. Like,
yeah, it's insane. Like they're encouraging ruthlessness.
Are you playing on the PlayStation, or where are you playing?
Me or Ken?
Any of you?
Yeah, Ken's just playing it on PlayStation. I'm playing it on PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah, playing on
Xbox. Because I find that
Xbox.
hardly anyone goes rogue that much, because it just doesn't seem like there is a reason to want to go rogue. Like, we see one person walking and we just let them walk past, because it's like, what's the point of going rogue?
Okay, well, I think we need to start playing on J servers.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just they're gonna go rogue because that's why they bought the game, because they can't go rogue. Some people just enjoy trolling people. They enjoy grieving. That's kind of like the reason why they play. And you know what? This is a game where you're allowed to do it.
Go rogue. Like, I find that some people go rogue. Like, I'm not saying no one goes rogue, but as soon as someone goes rogue, we're like, okay, this person shot us, and then we kill them, and then they stop going rogue.
I don't know, man. Like, there's guys that, ever since the update where, basically there's almost, you don't get punished as bad as going rogue, anymore. So more people go rogue, but now, like, people find, like, these spots that they can hunker down in, and I see more level 5 rogues now than I've ever saw before the update.
I know, right? They're everywhere.
They're a group of people that like hunker down by the entrance of a DZ, and just the moment you open that door, you're shot at like and just die for like no reason. Like you didn't have anything with you. They just do it because like that's how they're gonna play the game. And this is one of those games where that's a viable option to play. There's no right or wrong way to do it. If you want to be a rogue, you can be. I mean, it's nice if you weren't, I'm sure, but it's
we go rogue by I shoot people by accident a lot. So
yes, Ken. We end up going rogue on a regular basis, and it's never my fault.
Hey, people keep jumping in my line of fire, you know. Come on.
Yeah, look, if they don't have like a purple or a green bar or a yellow bar above their head, don't shoot at them. It's really simple. But I will say this. I think a lot of people just need... I think they actually troll you into shooting you so that you do become rogue, because you'll be in the middle of a street fight.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll be in the middle of a street fight and you'll have like 5 or 6 bad guys, you know, cleaners or rikers or whatever around you, and they can clearly see you on one side of the street, the bad guys on the other side of the street, and bullets going back and forth, and they run in between it all. They're like, and then all of a sudden you're rogue. Like, oh my god.
I would go rogue more often if I had better gear. Like, I have a lot of gold gear, but the rogues I see now are like level 78, 75. Like, those guys, you got to be careful. I'm only 45, 46 right now. So.
Let's be honest. If you were a higher DZ level, you would be going rogue all the time. Because I saw when you were a higher level than most other people at the beginning of the game, you were going rogue all the time. You're like, I am powerful. I am Superman. You'd go into that DZ and you would troll people. You would steal their stuff. And now that people are higher level than you, you're like, no, dude, we're just gonna go this way. It's cool. That's yours. You keep it. Keep it. We're leaving.
Surrendering does work every now and then, though. I've done
that's
it.
every griever known to man. Like, everyone does that. That's just the logic. That's the rules you play by.
I do, because of the way the DZ works, I love it. I love it when I go rogue and kill somebody, or even if I have an item that I like a lot and they kill me, the fact that they can get that emotion out of me, that anger, like, I think it's brilliant how the Dark Zone works overall. Like, I lost a Midas. I mean, granted, I had one, but I got, you know, when me and Bell got jumped, they took a gold from me, and I was just like, son of a bitch, you know, like, I want to go back there and try to kill him. I wanted the revenge, you know, and, you know, I think it's brilliant how they...
Yeah. There was one day that we sat down, we were bunkering in for a big session of the division. We started off with a DZ, and we got rolled, like, it was bad. We got rolled so hard. And I think you had, like, a gold, was it a gold clip?
Oh, it was a vest.
Vest, that's right. You had, like, the best vest in the game. And we got rolled hard. And for no reason whatsoever, we were minding our own business. We weren't causing anybody any pain. We weren't in anybody's way. But we got rolled so bad, and we went back to try and get the vest again, and we just got rolled again and again, and so we ended up going over to Blaze Blue. It's like, you know what, screw you today.
I was so upset at that. I didn't play it for like 2 days. I was pissed. I was like, fuck this game, and then I went back on and I ended up getting another vest, a gold vest, and I was happy again. So yeah, the vision can.
That's harsh. Any game that makes you have that much emotion to where your result is, let's stop playing this and go to Blaze Blue, that's real.
Yeah, I was mad.
There. We were gutted. Like, it was horrible. Ken, I think he was almost close to tears.
But do you not like see the weird logic in that of like playing the division and then just getting beat up so bad that as a group you're like, all right, so Blaze Blue.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you, like, that was your retreat, was Blaze Blue?
It's demoralizing when you have, like, you fight like 2 or 3 bosses, you see the gold pop, right? You're like, yes, I got it, and you're doing all you can to extract, you know, you do everything right, and 5 seconds left until the helicopter drops that rope, and you just get rocked.
The crowd opens up, hell reaches up, and you destroyed.
You're just like, oh my lord. But I mean, when I got back on, I played. I got another gold vest. That was actually better than the one I got the other day. So yeah, I lucked out on that. But.
You have no idea how painful he can be to play with when he's sulking over the loss of a gold. Like.
Well, you heard it here, folks. When life gets rough, just stop what you're doing and turn to Blaze Blue.
It fixes everything.
I love Blaze Blue. That's up there.
I never got into Blaze Blue. I never got into it.
You know what? You like Guilty? Do you like anime fighters at all, or?
Of course. I mean, what was that Persona game? The fighting game that Persona released last gen.
Persona
Arena. I played the crap out of that.
If you like Arena, you would like Blaze Blue.
Well, you need to get your PlayStation.
Everyone thought about that. But it just wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me.
I got you.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I love Blaze Blue. It's my favorite fighter. So, and as you can see, Ken's avatar is actually the cheesy Yuki Terumi that he uses in the game. It's that forward circle, forward circle.
He's not cheesy. He's just effective.
Cheesy as hell.
And he just has tools. That's
he is totally budget. Let's not even get into it.
Yeah, I have to jump back into Blaze Blue with you guys at some point.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe after the podcast, we'll go play some Blaze Blue.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or actually, maybe we could run the dailies and then the challenge.
I gotta get to level 50 Dark Zone. Like, I seriously gotta get there. I'm gonna try to make a push for it tonight.
Yeah, well, I want to do the dailies first.
I will say this about the Division, though, from my Xbox Live friends list and the PlayStation friends list. That's the game a lot of people are rocking out on.
I know, right?
It's yeah, and I think Ken, you actually said it, man. It's like the one game that unified everyone for a while.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, because I said it was ironic because of the name. It's called the Division.
Yeah.
But it's
right.
People are happy to play it with each other, So.
It's good, and I've seen a lot of people who sometimes. So you have your groups that you roll with, and you know people's personalities and what they will and won't do. You know your campers. You know the person that will come back and revive you. You know your friends. I've seen a lot of people that normally wouldn't stop and go back and pick you up, like become a very valuable member of the team and have actually stuck with the team and picked everybody up and set up their class to be beneficial for the team, not just beneficial for them. The Division really, it promotes that unity within your group.
Mm.
So, and there is the power of the Division right there. We're talking about what games we've been playing this week. Half an hour later, the Division.
Yeah.
So, Ken, what have you been playing this week?
I've been playing Street Fighter V a lot. The Division.
Shoryuken.
Yes, Shoryuken. A little bit of Blaze Blue. I think some Rocket League. Yeah, or was that more than a week ago? Well,
No, we played Rocket League this week.
Yeah, you ever play Rocket League? And Final Fantasy Platinum, the Platinum demo. I gotta make a comment about the demo. I understand why. There's a lot of people that don't like it. It's weird, It's supposed to be Noctis's dream. So a lot of people that aren't familiar with, what's going on in Final Fantasy 15. They're playing the demo and they're just like, what the hell is this? Like, this doesn't look like anything we've seen in the trailers and, in the media about the game. But I will say this, when you get to the last part of the demo and you fight the Iron Giant, I think that's what will draw people. I think once people get to that point, they'll be like, oh, okay, But you just have to soldier through the first, I want to say, hour of that demo. And yeah, it was kind of like, why do I have to do all of this? So.
The demo was really made for fans of the franchise. It was made for people who were invested into it. It wasn't made for people, like Episode Disque, for example. That's something that's made for people who maybe aren't familiar with the franchise that want to check out the battle system and how beautiful it is and learn a little bit about the characters. But the Platinum demo, I feel like that was made for people who are very well invested in the series and want that little bit of backstory that they haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely see that, and yeah, you have to be a fan because if you're not a fan, it's like, whoa. So I understand where people are coming from. as far as that goes.
I disagree. I'm a fan. I play Final Fantasy MMO. You know, I'll get lost in that whole. But then again, that's more turn-based, I guess. Well, it's not even turn-based, but it's the closest you're gonna get to it. But that platinum demo was just horrible. I don't know what the heck that was. So,
did you like Final Fantasy 12? You probably hated that one, right?
I think the last Final Fantasy that I felt was good was
Look me in the eye and tell me that Final Fantasy X-2 isn't the greatest of all time. Do it.
Hold up.
Uh-oh.
Is that the one that had Tidus?
Uh-oh. All right. Which one did it?
The one that had Tidus in it.
That's 10.
Yeah, that was the last one that I felt
was.
All
right.
You know, not
Yeah, that was
deep.
10, right?
That was 10. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the Charlie's Angels sequel.
Here's the thing about Final Fantasy X-2, aka Charlie's Angels. Yes. A lot of people hated on that game. They did not give that game a chance, and I blame Square on that because when you look at the trailer, it showed the girl singing and stuff like that, and you know, as the main demographic of these games are males, so a lot of males felt like, I guess, weirded out by that. But when you play the game, that was only like the first 10 minutes of the game. The game was actually really good. In fact, I believe that Final Fantasy X-2 has the best version of the active time combat in any Final Fantasy. It is the best turn-based Final Fantasy as far as combat goes.
It was amazing. Gameplay of 10-2.
I liked it.
I enjoyed the gameplay a lot.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't give that game a chance though, because of, you know, the whole girls and stuff like that.
I think I went from 10 and then 10-2, and then I spent years on 11.
Yeah.
11 was amazing, and 14 is amazing as well. 13 was trash.
Yeah.
Down that route for me.
13 was trash.
Maybe I might just stick to the
I can agree with him on that.
Yeah.
I could go on for a bit about Final Fantasy. The thing about Final Fantasy is like these games they have such it's the base is very rabid. If you go into a Final Fantasy forum, it's just a war zone. Go to any Final Fantasy forum and it's a war zone. So you know, people love these games though. So.
I think the biggest problem for Final Fantasy is that they spend so long on them and so much money that, I mean, they've already said that they need to sell 10 million copies to you know, to get their money back. So then they make a lot of things so generic and commercial that it just ruins the actual game. So instead of doing, you know, the true fans a good service and making, you know, the game that they grew up with and love, they put certain things in there just to get, you know, to make it more available to people that may not be sort of really into the whole lore and the whole you know, into that world. And then the people that play it just feel like this is trash because this isn't Final Fantasy. You know, a perfect example of that is the movies that they brought out. What was it, The Spirits Within? What the hell was that?
That movie destroyed Square.
When you looked at Advent Children, this was like, yes, you got limit breaks going off, you got summons. Do you know what I mean? It had everything that you knew about, you know, the Final Fantasy, the 7 universe, which I think was the best one. So do you know what I mean? But they haven't released Final Fantasy 15 yet. Yet you've got the anime, you've got the this, you've got the that. You know, you probably got like the underwear. Who the hell knows? I mean, make the damn release the game first, and then start thinking about all of that.
I think they're trying to go all in. I think they're trying to show people that they are dedicated to Final Fantasy 15. They put time into it. I don't realistically think they're gonna make their money back off the game alone. I mean,
I don't know. It doesn't seem to me like dedicate, like they're all in. It just seems to me like they need to make money. that's how it seems to me. You know, and at the end of the day, it's a business, so you need to make the money. Like anyone's stupid to think not. But the way that they've gone about it,
but that's every major studio though.
But to be honest though, like the movie, I was like, yeah, this movie looks amazing. So I got no problem with that. But so right now, I'm more interested in the movie, the anime, and the game last. Like the game really isn't doing it for me, and that demo just made me feel like I'm definitely not pre-ordering this game. I will wait for the reviews. I will wait to see streams and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
did you play this guy?
The movie, I was like, I'm hyped for the movie, you know, and yeah, I don't know. I think it should be the other way around. It should be that you should be hyped for the game, and then the movie's like cherry on the top type thing. But that's just how I feel about it.
I do know a lot of Final Fantasy fans that really hate the fact that it's not active, or not active. Well, yeah, active time battle, active turn base. Like people want that turn base, you know. But I think it's time to move on from that. You know, there are plenty of games with turn base battle systems that are still being made today. But after playing,
one of the best in the markets out there, XCOM 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
Go play that game. That game's incredible.
It would be if they fix it.
Slash to me, you know, and I just feel like this just isn't. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like Final Fantasy, if I'm honest. I suppose I have to see what the story's like, because that is a big part of the whole Final Fantasy series, you know, the story and how it draws you in and stuff like that. But in terms of the action, it just seemed weird. And I saw something on, I'm not sure if it was E3 or what it was, but there was like some sneaking around mission, like some stealth mission. And I just thought, like, this is not get solid. Like, what the hell is this? You know, it just seemed odd.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't know.
All right, Mr. Askew. Starting with the game that you're currently playing right now, what else are you playing?
I've been really behind because of work, so I haven't been gaming as much as I've wanted to. But I make an effort to try to stay on top and play all the big major releases. You know, Battlefield Hardline, you know, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, Streets of Rage, Narc, Battletoads 1 and 2. Just the heavy hitters that, you know, you need to play and experience this generation. I try to stay on top of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've been playing a lot of XCOM. This is the sequel, which is amazing. Obviously, Division. What else?
For anybody who knows, who previously he plays a ridiculous amount of video games. If it was out and released, he was on it and he was playing it. So to hear Anthony saying that he's playing these games now, like the backlog he
there
has
was
is
a
insane.
time,
it's so
and there was a time, and this is very recent, where the newest game I was playing, I'm not even joking, was Battlefield Hardline. I was like, and then I realized one day that like I was playing Battlefield, like I was playing it. You know, I knew I was playing it, but I didn't realize I was playing it until I realized I was playing it, and I was like, why am I playing this? And I stopped playing it. And then I went out and I bought the Division. Every gamer is going to have that moment where they're playing Battlefield Hardline, and then they realize they're playing Battlefield Hardline. They're like, oh. You go and you play something else.
It's like,
well, I'm glad I was able to talk you into the Division, because you're loving it, right?
I am. The gameplay. Here's the thing with me is that, like, the story is complete throwaway. Like I play it with like random people sometimes, and they're all like, oh yeah, the story, and they're really into it. I'm just like, what do you guys do? Like, who cares?
Have you got
Get out of here. The story's just so throwaway. I could care less. I just want the yellow stuff. You know, the loot. If there's something purple, I don't care about the story. No, I still need to get a headset.
All right,
I still need to get a headset.
This guy. Okay, so I organized to play the Division with Askew. Unbeknownst to me, he doesn't have a microphone. So he can hear me, but I can't hear him. So basically we're using Facebook Messenger. And I'm like, dude, we got to go over here, like fast travel to that, and then we'll get back and we'll go over there. I'm like, no, stay down, do this, and it was insane. In the Division without any communication between you and your teammate is really difficult. But it can be done through the power of Facebook Messenger.
That's where we're doing it. But like, I got really into the gameplay of the Division. The gameplay is very, very smooth. It's very fundamentally sound. I didn't care about anything else, but the gameplay was really, really good, and it is addicting. You do want to go back to the dark zone and kind of fish for, high-end items, or do your daily whatever. Like, it does make you want to do that a lot more than, say, for at least in my opinion, games like Destiny, where the gameplay was also very solid, but for whatever reason, it just didn't click with me.
Yeah, I was the same. I mean, I like Destiny, and there was a huge potential there for me to lose a lot of hours in that game, and I think that's maybe what made me pull back from it a little bit, because whilst I knew that I could get really addicted into it and it could be my game that I spent 400 or 500 hours on, I also knew that I would just be spending that 400 or 500 hours doing the same thing but at a different location, and that to me isn't worth that many hours of my life, and there's so many other amazing video games out there to play. So luckily I managed to not get fully addicted into Destiny, but yeah, that Division though.
The problem with Destiny, sorry to jump in, is that they didn't have matchmaking for raids, and one of the things I've never done in Destiny was play a raid, and that's because my friends all gave up the game after the full story that it had in its sort of the initial launch. So none of them bothered to get the Taken King, which I went on to do. So by the time I'm trying to play the Taken King and I'm ready to do a raid, I've got no one to play a raid with, and people are saying, "Oh, go to forums and blah 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 and all this stuff," and I don't really want to be doing that. I haven't got time to friends to play with and stuff like that. So I found that
you shouldn't have to go to that effort.
Problem with the Destiny, and where the Division definitely sort of trumps it because of that.
And so instead of get good, it's get friends. That's the internet meme for Destiny's no matchmaking system.
I mean, matchmaking in Division is really good. It's so quick too, and you generally find decent people. Only every now and again do we have someone that comes in, is an absolute asshat, and runs up into the middle of a gunfight and just like screws us all up. So then we have to collectively move up, all use our health, pick him up and retreat, only to watch them run all the way back in again. So usually you get decent people with it, but I've got to say, like, it's exceeded my expectations so far. We've been playing the dailies so much. We did a stream yesterday of the dailies. We speedrun the dailies now, which I'm sure most of you guys do. Like, we speedrun them. We get both the dailies done in like 20 minutes for the pair of them. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun. And it's not... The funny thing is, like, so the first time you do one of the dailies on hard, and you're like, oh my god, this is insane. How are we ever going to do this? And you're looking back 2 weeks to now, and the dailies, it's like a more so of a challenge of, right, how quick can we do this? Can we knock this from like 10 minutes completion down to 9 minutes completion? So yeah, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves in those dailies, because we're just trying to get through them as quick as we can. And then you go into the challenges, and I remember the first time we walked into one of the challenges, like, we did not leave the first room. And we were there for like half an hour, 45 minutes. We could not get through the first room. It was insane. You couldn't even peep your head up over the top of the counter, and you were dead. But now we go through the challenges, we complete them, and we're getting a lot more better and fluent at them. And I guess that's because our health level and our armor and our gun power is getting more and more powerful. So obviously that's going to make the challenges more achievable, but yeah, I love it. And they're going to need to add another layer in. They're not going to be able to leave the challenge as the highest level of difficulty. There is going to need to be something soon that is more challenging than the challenge.
Yeah, they have to, because even like now I'm starting to beat challenges even with like regular matchmaking. It's still a challenge though. You still need coordination and stuff like that, but hopefully this Incursion DLC and the raid coming up, will sate that desire to play against something, tough. I'm looking forward to it. And
do you like the no checkpoints in the Incursion? The update, like there are no checkpoints.
I think
it depends how long. It depends how long it is. If it's like 4 or 5 hours, I'm gonna be like, what, 2 or 3 hours?
I've always felt that no checkpoints was just kind of like an artificial way to add challenge. Like it doesn't seem natural to me. It just seems like, you know.
But
it seems like a gimmick.
It's not a gimmick because I mean, we were raised playing games like, you know, where we would die and we have to start the whole game over or start the whole stage over.
Yeah, but generally those are single-player games or like two-player couch co-ops, right? They weren't really like online, and those weren't games where it would take you, you know, potentially like Destiny-level hours to beat potentially.
That's true, but there needs to be some type of penalty, you know, because if there's no penalty, then it gets boring really fast. It becomes almost, I don't want to say easy because it's going to be hard, but I believe in penalties, like fail states and penalties and stuff like that. I don't like if I die, I start right back there and like nothing happens. I mean,
there's other penalties other than no checkpoints. Because, like, to me, like timing, like, I hate losing time. That's what I hate. So I would rather lose a whole bunch of experience every time you die, and not like if you die and then your whole team dies, but every time you're down and you die and you have to get revived, you lose a ton of experience. That to me is a more interesting challenge because that's up to me. But the whole no checkpoint thing, I don't know.
Oh, you want to lose a heap of experience to die and just go into the DZ?
Well, they patched that too. Like, you lose experience, but nowhere near as much as you used to. Like you would go down. Yeah, you would go down levels for dying.
I mean, to be fair to Ubisoft, like a lot of people made a lot of complaints about like you're punishing rogues too much, and now it's like, okay, let's balance it. I don't think the DZ will ever win everyone over. I think people just accept it. Everyone like after a while, people just accept the penalties and accept the risk and rewards because that's going to be something that's so subjective. And how do you balance it? There's going to be people that hate the thought of being a rogue and hate rogues in general, and then there's going to be people that just love being rogues. Yep. You can't balance something like that. It's impossible.
I said it was a slippery slope if they basically incentivized going rogue more than they have. Like now, if they do anything else, it's going to be a war zone in the DZ. Like everybody's going to go rogue. Because the uptick in people going rogue it already flew way up, you know. So I don't mind the whole rogue, going rogue and stuff. I don't mind it. There has to be
like a permanent rogue. Like if you've been rogue for so long, you're just permanently rogue, like that character. You know what I mean? Like every time you enter the DZ, you're just known as a rogue. I think if you go rogue, here's the thing. I think if you go rogue and you just kill people without any items, then you deserve to have that title. Like if you consistently just do it for just the heck of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I think the penalty should be you're just a rogue player. But I think if you're being rogue and you're waiting for someone to just like do the drop and you steal their loot, that's the point of being a rogue. That's what it's intended for. Not just to free random people.
But there should be items that you can only get if you're rogue.
No.
No. Everyone would do it. It wouldn't be a surprise at all.
No,
everyone, like the whole, like it would just mess up the entire thing.
It would break. Would break the game.
I really think if you're,
I'm not saying
break the game completely.
To me, I literally don't see a reason to be rogue ever.
I'll tell you the reason. The incentive of being rogue is that you can get extremely high-level items with almost no effort. Let's say you gang up on a guy. There's 4 of you, right? You all go rogue. You kill one guy. You can get golds that way. You know, that's the incentive. The incentive is getting items. So you don't have to fight bosses for hours and hours.
You know what someone's got? Like, I'm sure that you don't know what someone's got in their backpack.
Oh no, you don't know, but that's the risk. It's a gamble. But that gamble can pay off. Like, for example, when they killed me, when I had a Midas, all he had to do was kill me. He didn't have to fight a boss. He didn't have to farm. Boom, I already had.
Yeah, but when you're in a good team, fighting a boss is like a piece of piss.
Exactly. And I mean that's why we end up, like, at least one of us always ends up having a gold at some point in the DZ because we move together as a team. We go from we strategically move ourselves from one position to another, to the sports store, to the construction site. Like we have our places and we go and we farm them, and it's a regular routine. But I think I mean for me, I don't like going rogue because it it's an I don't know if like I should call it a morality thing, but for me, as somebody who wants to go and enjoy,
it's not proper etiquette.
Pardon?
She has a heart.
It's just not proper etiquette.
Who wants to
I'm the
go and
same
enjoy
way.
the dark zone? I want to be able to go in there with my team. I want to go and farm and get some, get all my stocks up. Maybe get some gold. Have some epic battles against bad guys that are a higher level than us, and you have a bit of a challenge and come out of there with something that's rewarding. I don't want to go into the DZ and find other people who are trying to do something similar to myself and make it a really bad day for them. Like, they're in there because they want to get something gold, they want to kill these bosses, they want to play with their friends, they want to learn the map, and then this bunch of bullies comes along and it just like starts picking on everybody and takes their lunch money. I don't want to be that person.
I feel like if you're being rogue to get better gear, like if you're literally waiting for the DZ drop zone to go rogue, that's the way to do it. And I think that type of rogue should have not more penalties, but actually more rewards in terms of being that type of rogue. I think the type of rogue that just kills a random passerby, even though they have nothing on them, like no bag whatsoever. That type of rogue that should be heavily penalized, because that's just griefing for no point, for no reason other than just wanting to grief someone. I think that should be a permanent rogue.
I've played games like Elder Scrolls and stuff like that, where there's guilds where like a thief guild or something like that, or do you know what I mean? And you have to kind of be bad to join it and stuff like that. So that's where my view's coming from, where there will be like set armor which you can only obtain by, you have to have been in rogue status to get this particular thing, and so it's not going to be everything. It's just going to be this particular thing.
Everybody is going to want that armor. Like, everybody's going to want it. Even if you're not a rogue at heart, even if it's normal,
then it's like, and that's what I'm saying. And then so there's that armor. Then there might be another armor that is something like, you can only ever obtain it if you haven't been rogue for X amount of hours or something. Do you know what I mean? This. Because, I don't know, to me...
I would say, if you're going to do something like that, if you're going to have exclusive armor for, like, the action for, like, rogue or for non-rogue, I would make it be, like, a permanent thing, where if you get that armor for rogue, you can never get the other armor for not being a rogue.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's what you do in some of these guilds.
So it would force you to choose which side you're going to be.
Yeah. I don't know, to me, I just find that, I think it will spice it up a bit, and do you know what I mean? And because at the moment, like you say, some people just be rogue just to grief, but it would kind of be like, okay, you're doing it for a purpose. But I mean, I don't know. For me, I just never go rogue because I just don't see no point of it. And
you get a ton of experience though. Like if you go rogue level 5 and survive, you get a ton of experience, a ton of it. And with the potential of getting items from everybody else. So I think it's cool the way it is now.
Thing, but I feel like I'm being annoying for no reason.
I understand where you're coming from. And what we're seeing from Ken's personality here is that when I'm not playing the Division with him, secretly he's off going rogue all the time.
Nah, I'm a good guy.
I know how you play the Division, and you play the Division the way you play it now when you game with me because you're gaming with me. If I wasn't on your team, I already know what would be going on. And it wouldn't be pleasant for anybody in that DZ. All right. I guess my games that I've been playing this week, we've been through everybody else now, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Making sure I haven't missed anyone. I actually haven't been playing as many games this week as what I normally do. Usually I take a bit of a dabble on, stuff on the PC, the PlayStation, and the Xbox. This week has been ridiculously busy. I have been so busy. I don't even want to go into it. It's been insane. But obviously there's been some Division being played on actually just on PlayStation this week. Usually I play on both consoles, but this week I've just been playing it on the PlayStation. I've been playing Fallout 4 and new DLC on the Xbox. DLC is pretty cool. I need to spend a bit more time with it. I get sidetracked. I mean, that's what you do in Fallout, right? You get sidetracked. So I get sidetracked really easily. So I need to put a little bit more time into that and clear that DLC out. But I've been putting a lot of hours into that. Mortal Kombat, I've been playing a bit here and there, not a great deal, but a bit here and there, maybe a couple of hours all up this week on the Xbox. About an hour or so of Blaze Blue when we rage quit the other day and like, screw the division, we're going to Blaze Blue. Bit of Street Fighter on the PlayStation as well. That's a game that I'm starting to find. I think my niche character is what's his name? Dalsim. Dalsim, yeah. So he's the one that has like the rubbery arms and legs.
The character that appealed to you was Dalsim? Yoga Flame? Serious?
No, it's not so much that
that's the character.
That appealed.
You are the only person on the face of this planet who's like, you know, my character is Dalsim.
Nah, I don't.
I seem to be able to gel well with his movements.
No. There's some guys that are really good with Dalsim.
Dalsim, I've always hated Dalsim. It's such a I just to this day I still hate Dalsim.
I do too, but
I understand every single character except for Dalsim.
Well, maybe that's why I like that character so much.
He's unorthodox, but he can do some damage. You just gotta look at some. It takes dedication, but there's guys that are really good with him. Like I've been destroyed by some.
Screw it. E-Honda for life. You know that
he didn't make the cut.
Do the fist nonstop? I will always just spam that move over and over and over. I'll just bombard you and corner you. Back in the day, that's all I ever did with E-Honda. That was it. It was great.
Oh wow. Well, it's the one character that I can almost kick Ken's butt with. Ken's been spending a ridiculous amount of hours in the lab training. I haven't, so at the moment, Dalsim's the one character that I'm able to just, like, it just feels natural, the movements, like the quarter rounds and stuff like that. They just work well for the way that I usually play a fighter, and so that's why I'm using Dalsim a bit at the moment. But the character that I really want to nail is Chun-Li. So that's the one that I started playing with, and I really like her as a character, so I will spend some time in the lab getting a little bit better with her. But for the moment, yeah, it's I've just been switching it up a little bit and trying them out in case there's another character that I gel really well with, and so far Dalsim seems to be that. Would
you guys say that Chun-Li is kind of like the starter character for everyone in Street Fighter? I think Chun-Li is the easiest character to get into.
I would buy Ken or Guki, or either Ryu or even Guki.
I would say no. Well, in Street Fighter 5, I'd probably say Ken Masters, but he
Isn't that
he has a lot of.
Just changed too?
Yeah. No, I mean, my main has been Cammy for a number of years, but like the amount of work I have to do.
Yeah, Cammy's great. Yeah, but for people that don't play Street Fighter, right, that just kind of get into it, I've always felt that Chun-Li throughout the series, not just like 5, but just like from the very beginning, has been one of the easiest characters to just slip into and kind of learn the basics of Street Fighter.
She's always been one of the most powerful characters.
Yes, Ken Ryu.
Yeah,
because
Chun-Li for you.
Translate Killer Instinct to Mortal Kombat and some of these other games, because like Fireball's like the easiest thing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just feel that Chun-Li is kind of like Street Fighter's Scorpion. Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, one of the easiest characters to learn.
No, but she's always been she's always been extremely powerful. Like Third Strike, she was just. I think she was the.
Well, Third Strike, she was overpowered. She was just like the number one. She was an unstoppable killing machine.
Yeah, she's always been
she's ridiculous.
We need to get Anthony onto Blaze Blue and chuck him behind the controls of Yuki or Celica.
Oh no!
I'm not a Blaze Blue guy.
Yeah, Blaze Blue is
you would be. You would be if you play with us. Like, it's addictive. It's a lot of fun. How many people have bought Blaze Blue because they've jumped into a random party with us to join somebody else that's in there with them? And they're like, what are you guys playing? It sounds like so much fun. So we play it with them, and before you know it, like half an hour later, they've bought the game, they've installed it, and they're playing it with us. It's just one of those games.
There's been a few people, like 4 or 5 people, but I do understand why some people don't like it. Like Blaze Blue is more of like a brawler. Like it's more about how much moves you can do in like 10 or 30 seconds. It's like you're just throwing stuff out there, and it's a spectacle. Like it's very fun to watch. Street Fighter V is more like a chess match. It's very technical. It's like much slower paced, and it's I don't know. I enjoy watching Street Fighter V a lot too. Like I hated Street Fighter 4 overall, but I love
Street Fighter 5 is still, compared to like other fighting games out there, it's just very accessible. There's always going to be characters that are easy to get into. It's not like fighting games like for example, Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive is a very niche fighting game. It's going to have its fans, people that love the style combat, they love the camera, they love the movement, and then there are going to be people that hate the movement in Dead or Alive. I personally dislike the movements. I hate it. I hate the camera.
What about Virtual Fighter?
You grew up to it. I grew up to Virtual Fighter and Sega Saturn. You know, when I had the Saturn, I was playing for Virtua Fighter. At the time, it was amazing. So was Virtua Cop. I look back at it now, I'm like, I can't believe I played these games. But, you know, that's how it was. You grew up, remember when Mortal Kombat had their thing where they were trying 3D? Was it I think it was Deception or something like that? That had like a like a 3D where, you know, I hated those games. Mortal Kombat was terrible in that era. And then when they went back to 2D, everyone's like, yay! You know what I mean? Like, to me, a fighting game is 2D. That's a fighting game.
Yeah, but Virtual Fighter 5 is pretty pretty solid as far as, you know, learning technique. You had to learn technique, you know.
That's one of the most technical fighting games out there.
yeah. And I kind of put like.
What about the original Soul Calibur games?
Yeah, I put a lot of.
I would say they're up there with Virtual Fighter as far as being technical, but Soul Calibur. Well, I didn't play 1. I
Soul
played
Calibur
2.
1, I think the first one. The first one was like almost perfect at its time. Like it was a great game for its time.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely up there in the technical. What about Tekken?
I enjoy Tekken.
More brawler.
I love the characters of Tekken.
Tekken versus Street Fighter, worst fighter ever released.
Yeah.
That's because there was no lead. Like I didn't know if I was playing a Street Fighter game or a Tekken game. They made too many compromises. Yeah, they met in the middle, and neither team kind of took the lead as to how it was supposed to feel like. You know, like those are two very distinct games. If you're gonna have a combination, one of them has to be the lead. This has to feel like this game with these characters and their flavor, as opposed to trying to appease both fans, because you're never gonna do it. You're never gonna appease both fans. Those are two completely different fighting games.
Yeah.
You know, with different engines, different styles, different players that play them. Like there had to be a leader. One of those franchises needed to be like, this is our game, and we're gonna invite you guys in it, and we can all share the profit. As opposed to trying to find something in the middle that didn't work out for either one of them.
Yeah, it's not like doing
it didn't feel like a Street Fighter game or a Tekken game or anything. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, we could go down this rabbit hole, man. Just throw out fighting games and see where they rank.
I enjoy it.
MVC was one of my favorites as a kid back in the day. I would go to like pizza shops that had the MVC arcade cabinets, and I would just play it like all day long. Same character, always like a Cyclops or like a Psylocke or something. But I would love those games.
I loved them, but I was horrible at them. Like MVC, I was never good at those games, but they were just so much fun to watch. Tekken was, I love Tekken. I just don't like the constant juggle. Like, okay, I pop you in the air and I have to hit you like 8, 9, 10 times. Like, I like fighting. I like staying grounded. So, like higher level Tekken play, I don't know. I'm not decent at it. I don't find it too appealing. So, but I do enjoy playing it at like a lower level, like basically,
Right. So to finish off my list of games I've been playing this week.
Jeez.
Rocket League.
Fun game.
Rocket League is always like a go-to. Always a go-to.
Just a fun game. I have it
Yeah,
for
and it's
Steam.
another one I've got on both consoles as well. So when you get a game on two consoles, you must love it. And like I literally bought it both times. I was just happy to hand that money over to Psyonix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's worth
They
it.
did a
Not my
great job
favorite
of it.
games.
Cream rises to the top.
Yeah, absolutely. That soccer cars, man, it's a seller.
it's just a
so-
simple concept, but it works.
It really does. And they've got basketball coming soon.
I can't wait for that.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. So before we do wrap up, Jay.
Yup.
I believe that you had a video game go gold.
I have a what?
You have a video game that's gone gold, that's passed certification.
Oh yeah, that thing. Oh, man.
Yeah, that little thing called a video game that's going to be releasing on the Xbox
I
One.
need a year to recover. Yeah.
Massive congratulations to you.
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling to get to finally pass certification with Gear Gauntlet. It's been a long journey, and yeah, there were moments where you just, I thought that I would never get there, but yeah, when I got that email that said it passed and everything, and people were finally going to be able to play it, it was like, yeah, such an amazing thing. So, yeah, it's been a bit of a crazy ride, really.
Yeah. Well, we're all very excited to finally see it in the marketplace at some point in an undisclosed date in the near future.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can tell you as much that it will be releasing this month. So
Yeah.
it's very close.
And it's just so
Just-
exciting.
But I even actually yesterday got the codes for reviews and stuff like that.
Nice.
But I don't know. Apparently, you're supposed to put the thing in a certain order or something. I really do not know. So I might actually have to get you to try and unlock the game. But yeah, I'm just just waiting to see people playing it really, and tell me what they think and
Yeah.
just enjoy it really and.
Well, we need to organise a live stream of it soon prior to
Yeah,
release.
exactly.
People can come past and watch it and just see why it is addictive.
Ken, do you have an Xbox?
Pardon?
Ken have an Xbox.
No, Ken doesn't have an
No.
Xbox. Ken's a pony.
Pony, I'm exposed.
I suppose well,
No, but I have a PC though, so yeah.
well
I
the
guess-
first version coming out would be the Xbox One version. The PlayStation version will be coming soon. And the Wii U and Windows 10.
Wow.
And Steam, if that ever happens, I don't know.
Yeah, Steam's been a
Yeah,
bit
you know
of
my
a
struggle with that
tricky
one.
thing.
But,
Yeah, I mean, we hit that Steam Greenlight campaign hard. Like, I know I was up till like 2, 3 a.m. the morning of the day that it actually went on Greenlight, and I was like peddling that as hard as I could. And Greenlight's really hard to break through.
yeah, especially if it's not like a 3D type game and stuff like that. Like you can make a VR game and it will get straight through just because people will be like, oh yeah, it's VR, and then
Yeah.
the game could be absolutely rubbish, but it's 3D, it's VR, so it must be amazing, And you just get to this whole mentality of people that they complain that they're not playing resolution, yet when they got a game that is actually good but isn't necessarily a 3D game or something that looks as good as a AAA game, then it's like, oh no man, we don't support indies, we just want AAA, blah blah blah. But then it's like, good gameplay,
Yeah, there's a lot of people like that out in the community. The ones that I love the most are the ones that spend like the entire year not supporting indies, talking about how they're not good enough and how they're trash. But then when an indie is about to come out They're like, oh, we love indies, and can we have a free code to do
no.
a review?
Oh
So,
man.
Yeah.
Listen,
I've never met so many streamers in my life. Like everyone I talk to is a streamer that wants a code. So
Yeah. And where have they been the last 5 years, particularly the last 12 months? Like, where's the support been there? But all of a sudden, there's a free code that might be had, and everybody's a supporter. Yeah, we know who you people are. I have a list.
By the way, I've been personally following Gear Gauntlet for years. So if you do have any spare codes, yeah, hook me up. Huge fan. You can ask anybody in this panel. They'll tell you that I play indie titles all the time. It's very rare that I stray out of that.
Oh, the hypocrisy.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of people, cause I'm on these Facebook groups and stuff like that, and you see people, oh, I don't care about resolution, I don't care about this and that, and I'm like, yo, you're lying. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, why'd you get it?
I think for certain games that's true. I think for certain, because there was a time when people were willing to sacrifice, let's say, cutscenes and very elaborate like CGI whatever for like really good text-based, for like RPGs, right? Like I would sacrifice that if it meant better gameplay or better story with like text-based whatever, instead of having like 2 or 3, 1 minute or 30-second little CGI videos for like a transition cutscene. I'd rather have text that I read, so at least there's a story that's coherent than a small half-assed cutscene. That being said, I'm a huge wrestling game fanatic, and the wrestling game that still resonates with me, not No Mercy, by the way, if you're listening to this, Fire Pro Wrestling, and that's sprites. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
To me, like I would if they re-release that like legit, I'd play that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
That's not going to win awards for graphics.
The same people that say that, they bash indies. Like we only want to play AAA games. Like, there's a lot of hypocrisy that goes on in these groups.
Yeah, I mean, come on. We were just talking about Rocket League. There was no bigger form of hypocrisy than it was on that one.
Oh
Right?
my Lord,
it was rampant. It was rampant.
It was bashed so hard, so hard, and treated like it was a piece of trash. And then as soon as it hit the Xbox One, they're like, "Oh my God, this is amazing! We love this game."
But that's also like popular marketing too. It's kind of like people when they think of indies, they kind of think of like, this is kind of beneath me. I'm not gonna whatever. But until it goes to like Xbox, and all of a sudden they see it in a different light. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay. It's like, no, that game was always as good as it was before. It just happens to be on your preferred console now, as opposed to some obscure game on Steam or something like that. Now it's on the console that you play predominantly. So you're like, oh man, this has so much more value. Now it's a game. You know what I mean? Like it's like Splatoon. If you know me well, you'll know I hate Nintendo right now. I just hate Nintendo so much. But I love Splatoon. Like I am so jealous that they have that. Like I want that for Xbox or PlayStation. I don't care. I want that, and I hate that they have it. I hate that they have it.
Yeah.
Such a great game.
That's their brilliance, man. Like they can do that kind of IP, and even without voice chat in the game, get people on board with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, all right.
Yes,
well,
Splatoon is great.
With any luck, maybe we might see it in the future. I mean, it's probably not likely. Nintendo like to keep their exclusives exclusive, so.
Yeah, like they're only like how many exclusive IP do they have?
Developer, not Nintendo. So potentially someone else could just make that.
Yeah, I mean, we've already got a version of it, kind of, with Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, But it's definitely a nice concept. I had something similar in mind. Well, it was based around like water and stuff like that, anyway. But definitely not to that sort of scale. But I'm in that same similar situation where I don't really like Nintendo because I just think that the games that they put out are just not for me. But Splatoon is definitely something I want to play, but I'm not going to buy a Wii U just for that game. I wouldn't buy a console for one game, ever. You know,
I was very close of buying a Wii U for Bayonetta 2. Very close, and I was super upset that they called it Bayonetta 2. I get that it wouldn't have existed if Nintendo didn't make the funds or put out the funds to develop the game, so I get it. But you could have called it anything else. Bayonetta Revengeance, or just anything. The moment you call it Bayonetta 2, then it becomes like an official canon thing. And as a huge fan of the first one, it really stung that that was console exclusive to a console that really nobody cared about. Nobody cared about it.
Yeah, I was close to getting a Wii U too, but I was like, nah.
But you know what? All right, I got to be in the trenches and fight for Nintendo because I love them for doing that. Because yeah, like you said, Anthony, it would not have happened. You know, that game was gone. I mean, and that's another thing too. Is like everyone talks a good game about a game like Bayonetta when they had the ability to get it, no one paid attention to it. And then when it was on, then when Nintendo jumped in and did it, everyone was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" I'm sorry.
Yeah, people got mad. Yeah,
sorry for that bomb, but.
It's because of the 2, though. It's not because of the game's existence or the game on that console. It was because it's Bayonetta 2, the direct sequel. It could have been anything. Bayonetta, insert any word. Bayonetta bananas. And it'd be like, yeah, it's a good game. Yeah, I wish we could have had it, but, didn't work out. But because it's Bayonetta 2, it's just like, it's just a huge slap to the face.
Well, Nintendo doesn't have a whole lot of nana moments, so let them have that one.
Yeah, they have. Honestly,
what is me that everyone keeps going on about?
And I'm a huge Nintendo fan. Bella will tell you that. I don't agree with all the decisions that they made. I hate the fact that the position that they put themselves in. But at the end of the day, what they do, no one else really does on that level. As far as game creation.
Right. So when PlayStation has like the VR and Xbox has their own VR thing, and I don't know if it was with Oculus is for Nintendo, but like what does Nintendo have at that point? Because even though that's just an accessory and it's not like a next gen console, people are treating that VR headset like the next evolution for this generation. So when that releases, what are they gonna do? Bayonetta 3?
No, I think for now, whatever Nintendo's going to do, they need to clean up their yard and then worry about whatever that next thing is. Just get back to doing the core thing. I think we've seen enough. I'm not even call Wii a gimmick. I mean, it did fade, but I think a lot of that was just they cut their nose off to spite their face. From after doing the sales, they just stopped supporting it and kind of thought everyone would kind of jump over to the Wii U. Like I said, I don't agree with everything that they do.
They released a mountain full of terrible games.
Well, yeah, but
I think they didn't release enough good ones.
They literally just stopped.
That was the main thing.
With the Wii, they literally just stopped. They were like, all right, we're going to jump over here, and they didn't do a great job of explaining it. We all know that part, but I don't know. As far as, honestly, personally, I think that they're really just trying to, like, focus in and clean up their yard and then worry about what their future is going to be. I think they're just trying to get their footing back under them.
All right, well, you heard it here first, folks. New Bomberman. That's going to be their strategy.
Oh, my goodness. All right, and on that note, we're going to start wrapping up. We've gone well over time. Well, thank you very much for everybody who tuned in today and for everybody who joined me. Thank you for taking time out of your day. I would like to have started half an hour earlier, but unfortunately we had daylight savings occur here and I wasn't aware of it, so sorry about the delay in getting going. We do have the April Developers Workshop podcast coming up in 1 week's time. So it's a little bit earlier than what we used to. We always hold it the second weekend. Just turns out the second weekend's on the 10th. And we are having a very PlayStation VR focused panel this month with, we can let you know now that the developers of 100-foot giant robots, 100-foot giant golf will be joining us. So it's going to be really cool. Like just to hear from these guys about how two people have been able to come together, create a game, put it on VR, and it's an experience that a lot of people are greatly anticipating. I know I'm going to be getting it. So yeah, no, don't even.
You were ahead of your time, Virtual Boy. You were ahead of your time.
I had one, I had a Virtual Boy. It was not as bad as everybody made it out to be. It was. I had
it had
Mario
like
Tennis.
one good game to it, and that was tennis.
Yeah, the
No,
Mario
no,
Tennis.
two. I had Mario Tennis and I had Red Alarm, or was it Red Alarm?
Was it the robot one?
No, it was the one where you were flying in a plane in like in this futuristic fortress. You were shooting enemies and stuff like that. It had like really cool.
Okay, you want to know
music, too.
that was your experience with it? I had Mario Tennis and Waterworld.
Oh,
Those were the games
Waterworld
that
was.
I
I
had.
heard that was horrible.
Yeah, it was terrible. That was my virtual reality experience. Oh, the Virtual Boy.
Well, I
Yeah.
I had a Virtual
Okay.
Boy, and then playing the PSVR at PSX. Virtual reality has come a long way. Let's say, I'll leave it like that. You'll enjoy it.
Yes, VR is it is the direction that gaming is going to be heading in, and we're going to be talking all things VR on April 10th with 100-foot robot golf. There are a couple of other studios that are coming on. Can't quite announce them yet, but they are big, they're exciting, and it's going to be great. So make sure you guys tune in for that. If you have any questions about VR games that are coming up on the device and how it's all going to work, feel free to send them in to us in advance so we can pop them out there to the developers and they can come prepared with a response for you. So until next time, thank you very much and happy gaming.